Hey guys, and welcome to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. It's the weekend, which always means one thing. It's time for that weekly news roundup. As always, we will begin with FPGA gaming news, the MiSTer, the Analogue Pocket, and any other FPGA gaming news out there that's worth reporting. After that, we will move over to some random and retro gaming stuff. Timestamps have been made available, so use those to navigate your way around the video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, then a subscription and a like is super duper appreciated. If you wish to support the channel further, we do have a Patreon set up. If you want to check it out, please do. And don't forget to check out the sponsor of the weekly news show, Zapparoo, an absolutely awesome project that turns NFC into so much fun, and you can launch pretty much anything from NFC with this. Check it out, it's awesome. And also don't forget to check out London's best arcade free play city. And we have a giveaway. When I say we have a giveaway, not exactly on the Pixel Cherry Ninja YouTube channel, but hey, a website that I'm very closely associated with. That's right, it's Metal Game Solid. You can see the website address on the top left of the page. If you want to win this bad boy, this is Neon Inferno, guys. This is one of the best new games that I've played that feels like it really came from like the late 80s or the early 90s. It captures that arcade vibe so well. An amazing side scroller with gallery shooting combined. Really, you have to play it to believe it. It is that freaking good. Just try it out. Absolutely fantastic. So you can win yourself one. Check the links in the description for Metal Game Solid. Go over to that. You can enter in two ways, either on the website or via the Metal Game Solid official YouTube channel. You can actually enter both as well to double your chances, but this is a great game. If you don't like entering competitions, then go buy this anyway. You will not be disappointed. If you're on this channel, you generally like stuff that I like, and I love this game. This game here, Caliber 50, this is something that I played in the arcade, and for the whole part I very much so liked it. Now looking at this little video here, it looks like it uses a rotary controller. However, the version I played in the arcade, I'm pretty sure, was on a normal arcade stick. These rotary controls for games like this are fantastic. Games like Guerrilla War, Akari Warriors, Outzone, just to name a few, they just feel really good, where you can move in one direction and shoot in another, and it feels very natural. Well, the good news is, over on ℳ𝒾𝓈𝓈 Patreon, one of the directors are, I think, the highest paying Patreon supporters, has requested that ℳ𝒾𝓈𝓈 and his team look into Caliber 50. So when they look at Caliber 50, this is very similar, and it shares some of the logic with the JT Kiwi core. That's the core with the New Zealand story, among other games. But what's really cool about this is, hopefully in the near future, when ℳ𝒾𝓈𝓈 implements this, with this some other games are possible and they'll come. So let's say Caliber 50 being the main piece. Apart from that, we have got a game called ℳ𝒾𝓈𝓈, I think that's how you say it, ℳ𝒾𝓈𝓈, there you go. It's a vertical shmup, not a game I'm familiar with, but definitely a welcome addition because it is from my era of the arcade. Then there's a game called Downtown, I'm talking Downtown. Again, looks not exactly up my street, but definitely up someone's street. Reminds me of that game, what is it, Avenger? Unless I've got the wrong game up there, I'm not exactly sure. I just quickly looked at some videos. And then there's a game called Twin Eagle, which again is a vertical shmup, always welcome, like checking these games out. And the final game we are looking at is a game called Meta Fox, not Metal Fox, but Meta Fox, like metadata, and that there is a vertical shmup as well. So Caliber 50 is definitely the biggest game for me. Thank you, whichever director that is that requested this. I like it when you request games that I played in the arcade and that I like. So something to look forward to in the coming months or weeks. So again, love arcade games in particular that I played coming over to FPGA devices, and Caliber 50 is a game of high caliber. Guys, remember Run and Gun? This is something that ℳ𝒾𝓈𝓈 and his team were working on, and this is something of a stepping stone before we can move over to something like CPS3. Now, there have been some graphical improvements implemented by ℳ𝒾𝓈𝓈 and his team, in particular when you were playing this. Previously, you couldn't see members of the public on the right hand side of the court. Well, the good news is now you can. The shadows have also been implemented, and some of the garbage that was around the screen, like little artifacts, they have now been fixed or removed, and improved SD RAM throughout on the MiSTer and the SiDi-128, which results in fewer graphical artifacts. Unfortunately, the Analogue Pocket version still has two big problems, but the team are working on there. One of them being timing problems. Accessing the external memory used as frame buffer may produce a noisy output or a completely blank output. The root cause is understood and the solution is on its way. And the second one here, image still shows a black frame around it. Always have to appreciate ℧𝒾𝓈𝓈 and his team's dedication to fixing up old cores. So this here Hyper supports, ℧𝒾𝓈𝓈 says in the latest Patreon post, a fixed fall foul on Hyper supports caused by sprite being shifted 1 pixel to the left. And absolutely love it. It's 1 pixel out. No, the team are gonna look at it. So a game here that goes back to 1982, definitely before my time, but like I always say, I appreciate every preservation effort out there. So this game here, Tutankham. So the editor has been made, Rodimus FBC is working on this, and they do intend at some point to do an FPGA core, so something to look forward to if you're around arcade gaming in 1982. Having a look at the game here on Arcade Archives, I think it's out for like modern consoles, arcade archive stuff. I usually know this stuff from playing it on the Switch. I don't really use any of the other consoles, but there you go. If you want a maze game, and right now if you want to check out this maze editor and you want to play it via a software emulator, you can go in there, make your own mazes if that was your jam, and hopefully we will be getting an FPGA core soon. Is this my type of game? Well, I'll try it, but it's a little bit before my era. Really interested if you played this in the arcade and what you think of it. Was this what Bad Dudes versus Dragon Ninja is for me? Was this what you had at the time? And a bit of a different game, I know, but hey, it was a different era. Let's now talk about the updater. Version 2.3 of the downloader has just dropped, and it is really fast. Now it hasn't started yet. It gives you a little countdown. As you know, you can move it up to get into settings or down to initiate it. But let me initiate. I'm going to move down on my D-pad and look how quick it actually does everything. They go on to say with 2.3 release, downloader is now 10 times faster than it was 3 years ago, and it's actually 5 times faster than it was a year ago in a no update scenario. This is just how fast it does the checks, and as you can see, it finished it in a couple of seconds. What was really interesting in the latest Patreon post is the update tool or the downloader began life in the summer of 2021, and wow, we're in the winter, we're approaching the end of 2025, and it is still going, and it is so stable, it is so fast, it is something that we use all the time. So the Epsilon, Jose, absolutely love it, love the work you do, keep it up. Honestly, how much faster are you going to make it? I think we're good now with 2 seconds is good, right? Or are you going to do it in a second? Either way, it's very fast. Black Friday, with it brings sales. It starts before Friday and it goes on for longer than Friday, because I'm checking this out on a Saturday and the sale is still on. Now often when I look at Black Friday sales, I see that the week before the prices were inflated and then they're deflated again on Friday. Well, that's not the case with Heber. They have a few items there, some non-FPGA gaming items, but definitely some FPGA gaming related items. You can see everything on the page there. Let's scroll down a little bit. So they have got a few items, probably most interesting. Right, okay, Mr. Multi-System FPGA IO motherboard, but this one over here, if you want to get yourself like a Mr. Multi-System FPGA console bundle in black, and that's just the enclosure. As far as I know, all you need is a DE10 Nano. You slot it in there and you're pretty much gaming, you are away. The bundle includes 128 megabyte SD RAM, 7-port USB hub, RGB SCART, VGA15 and analog IO, snack interface with onboard level shifters, cartridge expansion port, plus lots more. Look at the data sheet below, and the data sheet is here. So this was, so let's do it ex VAT, because depending on where you're buying it in the world, you might be paying different rates of tax. So ex VAT was £159, now it's £109.99, and the VAT prices are above, where it was £190, now it's £131.99. So some food for thought if that's something you want to check out, or if you want to check out any of the other items. I know there's plenty of Black Friday sales on, but maybe this is something you want to check. This is the part of the video where we talk about unstable nightlies and test builds that have been released for the MiSTer FPGA ecosystem. So when it comes to the Sony PlayStation, in the last week, it has received 3 updates. The Super Nintendo core has also received an unstable update, as well as the Game Boy. But most interestingly, and I really want to do a dedicated video on that, and that is the MiSTer main has been given a new way of auto fire that better syncs with the refresh rates, then you can kind of change it. I want to look more into it. A buddy of mine, Deep Thought, is responsible, and they've got a Mr. Main, an unstable version of the operating system available, which gives you that auto fire. Now, something I want to try. Hopefully I can later on. If not, if you do want to try it out for yourself, head over either to my Discord or the Mr. FPGA Discord. Both of them are hosting his latest builds that you can try out, but the frequency, it's more spread out. For example, now you may find that the Mister's default auto fire, if you're playing a game like say Gradius, when you're pressing the auto fire, it's just firing it in one blast and then there's a gap. What you can do with this one is you can set the frequency so that gap is steady, so you don't have to resort to going back to fingering your controller. You can use that auto fire. So good stuff there. Something I want to look more into if I get more time. Something that I'm looking really forward to, and I really need to get this video done because I'm looking forward to my interview with Ranny Snice, an artist, a Mr. FPGA artist. He, among other things, is best known for making amazing wallpapers for the Mr. FPGA. You can enable them via update tool, and every time you reboot your system, a different one shows up, or you can use an individual one. It's completely up to you. So they are joining me in, it says 4 hours there, but 5 hours, 4 hours and 53 minutes from now, I will be live with them. So Pixel, you need to get that video out there. But this is going to be fun. This is going to be awesome. Come and ask us questions live, or ask Ranny questions live, but it will be a jam and it's going to be a nice Saturday night for me. Anyway, see you guys there. Now let's talk Analogue 3D. So in last week's episode, we had a look where Analogue announced that they will be shipping these on November the 18th, and people will be getting their orders soon. So right over here, Analogue 3D shipping begins today, and there you go. That is dated the 18th of November, just as they promised. Then having a look at this next one over here, they are saying update your 8-bit Ⅎ64 Bluetooth controller now before your Analogue 3D arrives. The update provides optimal functionality for Analogue 3D. So there you go, guys. If you want the best functionality and you have that 8-bit Bluetooth controller, update it. Now, what's really cool over here, there's been lots and lots of reviews. The first one that I came across was the Modern Vintage Gamer one. Some really good ones from Ⅎ𝒾𝓈𝓈 Productions. That's a really cool one as well. My Life in Gaming do a really long in-depth one. Then you've got Game Explain. There's plenty of reviews out there. Now, for the whole part, the reception has been very positive. Modern Vintage Gamer even said that he is replacing his N64 in his entertainment setup with the Analogue 3D. The biggest gripe about this is it only so far plays original cartridges, and yeah, it doesn't support all flash cards. There's like not an EverDrive, there's a different one, I can't remember what it's called. That's what I think Modern Vintage Gamer got working, but a different channel got a version of an EverDrive working on an older firmware. So hopefully this is something that will get resolved. I'm very confident that it will get resolved. So yeah, hopefully it will get that support, but that seems to be the biggest issue with it so far. It's nice to see that some customers have actually received theirs like 4 days later, so that's awesome. So over here, 8-bit Ⅎ, introducing the 8-bit Ⅎ controller that looks like a Nintendo 64 controller. That color scheme that they've got is the Nintendo 64 color scheme. Have to say, man, I do like Analogue's marketing. They're quite a lot, but when they release stuff, people like it and people want it. So they released the black and white one. Now this one here can be pre-ordered from the 8-bit Ⅎ website, and a controller that works really well with the Analogue 3D. Then having a look at these ones here, really good news. If you missed out and now you're thinking, oh man, I really wish if I ordered it now, or if you cancelled your order, well, guess what? Analogue 3D restock Monday, November the 24th, right? That's 2 days from now. That's at 8 AM PST, and I think that's 4 PM UK time and 5 PM Central European time, and shipping December the 2nd. So that's really cool, and they are committed to getting all the pre-orders out first, and only after that will this start. But it seems like they're very organized. Whatever the delays were, whatever the reasons were, those delays aren't there anymore. And not only are they shipping out pre-orders, but they are ready to ship to you early December. So if you want to get one, maybe make your purchase on Monday. But just remember, guys, at the moment it's not playing flash cards. There's no jailbreak for it that will let you load ROMs from an SD card. At the moment it is original cartridges pretty much only, unless you have like a particular brand of a flash card. But even then, the functionality isn't super awesome. And the final thing here, okay, this I think is a good move, and this is where I think competition is good for the consumer. So Analogue 3D pre-orders are underway and remain our top priority. All open orders will ship before restock orders ship. Fair enough. You backed it 2 years ago or in between, you deserve to get yours first. So Analogue 3D will be available at $269.99 from the original price of $249.99 due to tariffs. And guys, this is really fair. I was actually speculating that the new price is going to be $300, $299.99, or potentially even as high as $349.99. But this is where I think the mod retro M64 kind of entering the arena has given them competition. So they've put the most minimal of markups that they can. Things have gone up a lot more than the price increase that Analogue are adding to the 3D. So if you are after one, guys, it might be a good time to pick one up on Monday. Reviews have been positive so far. Hey, want to plan something nice for your toe? Then why not try out Ⅎ𝒾𝓈𝓈 Zero Wing? It's a new release for the Analogue Pocket, and this is brought to you by the Coin-Op Collection. Now, in order to get this, all you need to do is put your memory card in your PC, run Pupdate like I did, and it will ask you, do you want Zero Wing? And naturally I said yes, and I have this now on my Analogue Pocket. I like this game, I like shmups, I like Ⅎ𝒾𝓈𝓈 games, and yeah, Zero Wing is a good game. So go play this on your Analogue Pocket and have a great weekend. So here's an article on Time Extension that many of you guys sent me links via DMs. You posted it on my Discord server, and it's all around. It's doing the rounds and it's gained quite a bit of traction. So Mr. Rival Mars FPGA is dead. I mean, a lot of people will say they saw that coming a long time. A lot of people called it vaporware. They said it will never ever happen. Well, it turns out that they were right, and this thing died even before it was born. So can you actually kill something if it never existed? That's a philosophical question. So over here on Time Extension, what they've done is they've taken screenshots from the Retro Frog Todd Gill's Discord server, where Todd Gill pretty much just says it's dead. And they ask, is it because of tariffs? No, Felix screwed us over. So the demise of Mars, even though it had a star-studded team, Mike Chi, Wizzo that left earlier, it had the Coin-Op Collection guys, as well as that it had like the guy from Gun for Air, I can't remember his name, really sorry, but Gun for Air was the product, like lots and lots of different people in there, and essentially one guy just ghosted them that was making their PCB board, and that's it, the project died a death. It kind of explains why the developers weren't really working on Mars, but really doubled down and started focusing on making cores for the Analogue Pocket and the MiSTer FPGA once again, even though the whole kind of premise of Mars that it was going to be a MiSTer beta, potentially a MiSTer killer. But hey, MiSTer is still king and Mars is no more, or never was. Anyway, sad times. Always sad to see a project that might have been something disappear, but hey, we got plenty of games to play. We've got more options coming in the future. Rest in peace, Mars. A quick mention here to the Game Database, who have been working for quite some time on indexing the Saturn, so now we have all the metadata, and they've confirmed that in a latest Patreon post. I like to give this a little bit of attention because the work that they do is super helpful when it comes to indexing and, well, just having all the data there for each system. So Game Database, we appreciate you, man. So I ran a video on this earlier during the weekend. This is the Game Tank, guys. By the way, if you've not liked my video, press that like button, it helps out. So the Game Tank isn't an emulator, it's not emulation, it's not even hardware emulation via an FPGA. This is a brand new console. It's an 8-bit console with all bells and whistles. So this is something that maybe you want to get into if you want to develop stuff, you want to tinker, you want to make your own games. Got to be completely honest here, I have zero interest in this. I do find it fascinating. I do like it from a retro gaming or retro gaming YouTube channel and just stuff in general and seeing stuff that's cool. But I wanted to put this out there because I do think this is a cool project. Maybe it's a very small super niche, but I know some people will like this. But what's really interesting is going over to the Game Tank page and just kind of having a look at some of the stuff here. Okay, not a lot here, but there is a whole page with guides. It's got all the schematics, everything you need if you want to build it yourself. But you might think, well, cool, I can't build this, but I'm interested in this, especially the software side. Well, they're gonna do a crowd supply campaign soon. It's not quite live yet, but maybe this is something that you want to get into and pick up in the future because you just want to tinker around with it. You just want to mess around with it. So interesting kind of stuff. Do let me know what you think. I've had like mixed, I've done a dedicated video and I've had like mixed kind of comments on this. Some people like it, some people think it's a waste of time, waste of energy. So let me know what you think. Anyway, Game Tank, at the very least, I think it's very, very interesting. Anything with Bad Apple kind of is all right. And that game reminds me of Zelda. So this is something I'm super interested in. I saw this, or someone actually DM'd me this, and I was like, wow. So did you know Mario Kart on the Game Boy Advance, it ran at 60 FPS, but the map ran at 30 FPS. So when I get a bit of time, I want to do a dedicated video on this, but for any Mario Kart fans out there on the Game Boy Advance, maybe you want to check this out. So you can run this patch and everything will look silky smooth, especially the map, and it is going to be running at 60 FPS. If you've already tried it, then do let me know. But during the week, when I get a bit of time, I want to do a dedicated video on this because I want to play it, film it, and then run a video. But yeah, it looks really, really good. And if you're a fan of Mario Kart on the Game Boy Advance, you should definitely check this out. So guys, that wraps it up for this week. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then a subscription and a like is super duper appreciated. And remember guys, the giveaway, do enter it because Neon Inferno is freaking bad boy. Anyway guys, be awesome to one another. I'll see you guys around. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.